Mariah May makes her WWE debut. Plus, NXT title matches have been announced for next week. And an NXT talent has been pulled from the WWE AAA Worlds Collide event this weekend. It's all in the Cultaholic wrestling news right now. Last night, NXT got far more glamorous.
They're not pissing about, are they? Waiting no time for this at all. Mariah May making her NXT debut last night. Several competitors sizing up the new NXT Women's Champion, Jacy Jayne. Fatal Influence watching on. And then the lights go out, spotlight on the balcony. And who's there, Tom? It's the woman we just mentioned. She's in the title and the thumbnail. It's Mariah May.
It is Mariah May.
May declaring on the mic that she had finally arrived. And you can call me the next NXT Women's Champion, and finished saying the best women's division in the world just got, as Tom said, more glamorous. Ooh, goodness me.
She said a few things. One thing she didn't say is her name, interestingly, and that got a lot of people talking, because this is what happened when Ricky Starks / Ricky Saint made his NXT debut.
Yeah, bit of an update on that. Fightful saying legally there's no issues with her retaining the name Mariah May, as it's a name that she's used for years, prior even to her AEW debut. However, WrestleVotes Radio reporting that May will be getting a new name once it's decided upon. So this has obviously come about very, very quickly. They haven't had a chance to throw up the random name generator and figure something out.
Well, the way they do it, and like I said, I spoke to a few people recently who have left NXT, and a lot of people get told to write down a list of first names, a list of last names, and then they'll choose a combo. I hope that Mariah has just written Mariah 10 times on one side and May 10 times on another.
It'll be like Julia July or something like that.
Mariah March.
Mariah worried.
Smarch. Lousy Smarch, rather.
I'm worried for Jacy Jayne. Because I think she's probably going to win it in not necessarily a debut match, but her first title challenge. I think Mariah's doing it straight away.
Straight in there.
It's added some, I don't want to say much needed, but it's added a bit of star power to the NXT women's roster. We've seen a lot of call-ups recently. Roxanne Perez, Julia heading up, Stephanie Vaquer getting called up as well. And all of that happening, according to Fightful Select, due to the impending arrival of Mariah May. This is a surprise to absolutely nobody. It's been in the works for a little while. And Mariah May afterwards as well, saying this is like honey, I'm home on Twitter as well. You know what? I think AEW did such an unbelievably good job. The fact that we're talking about Mariah May, we're all very excited to see what she does in this new company for her. I think her booking was so spot on in AEW. They properly turned her into a star. It felt like a story was in place from the start, and that story played out absolutely beautifully to the point where, her stock has been elevated so much. And I can't wait to see what she does. She's reportedly, she's one who's been in WWE for the longest time. It was always the end goal. So props to her. Well done for getting there. She's worked her bloody arse off for it as well. She's a great character, and I think she'll fit in really nicely in NXT as well. And
immediately made an impact, as we saw on NXT last night. So this is going to be the future for Mariah May. Fightful Select reporting that she has signed a multi-year deal with the company that begins in NXT. I can't imagine that she's going to have the longest of times in NXT. Certainly there for now, because as you rightly said there, the call-ups of Roxanne Perez, Julia, Stephanie Vaquer, and Jordynne Grace was also, it would bolster the main roster women's divisions, and it would, with Mariah May coming in, you know that women's division will be fine to lose some of those heavy hitters.
Yeah.
Because you've got this big name coming in, and immediately lined up straight away with Jacy Jayne. I feel like that Mariah May, as we saw in AEW, is such a fabulous heel, but she can play an underdog babyface as well. But I loved her work as a heel in AEW. I think the best, probably one of the top 5 stories that AEW has ever told is Mariah May and Toni Storm. I was captivated by the whole thing.
Start to finish,
magnificently done. And the fact that it is like a proper Hollywood ending, it is the end, and she has moved to a different production house altogether in 30 cents. I think it's a perfect end to it, and I'm just really intrigued to see how she works and what role she fits into on this NXT roster, babyface or heel, certainly in the top.
I agree about on the heel thing. I think it's a character that more naturally lends itself to being a heel, just her sort of her presentation and the glamour of it all. That can perhaps be quite easy to dislike. So it'll be interesting to see. Obviously, she's going to get a pop when she debuts, and like a big reaction for her last night, and people very, very hyped. But I think they'll turn her heel sooner rather than later, because I think that's where the money is as well.
Mm-hmm. Now, also last night on NXT, some stuff set up for next week. We're going to see Obafemi, at Obafemi's request, putting the NXT Championship on the line against the winner of Season 1 of WWE LFG, The Undertaker's Jasper Troy. They had themselves a square up, and Jasper Troy making the point very obvious. It's very rare that Obafemi's in the ring with someone he has to look up to, and Jasper Troy is just a smidge taller than Obafemi.
Just a tiny bit. I'm excited for this one. I really do think that Jasper Troy is going to get battered here. I think it's going to be like Welcome to the Big Leagues kid. What was it? What was his name? Was it Andy Levine? Do you remember Andy Levine? I think that's his name. The Tough Enough winner. The like Austin Thunder, they made a foot and then he just like disappeared for ages.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be an extended version of that. And, no, I'm joking. I think Obafemi is going to batter that man, because it's sending a message. It's like, this isn't LFG anymore. This is NXT, and we're not even in WWE yet. Just you wait.
But I reckon we might see Jasper get a little something in there, just because he's so imposing.
He is. He's a big boy.
I don't think you can just have Obafemi just run through him, because then it's one of them things like that whole thing with the Tough Enough winner was infuriating, because you just played out this entire show where you proved he's the best of the best. Just immediately job him out.
He was crap.
Yeah,
he was crap.
Regardless of whether he's crap.
Jasper Troy is it? Jasper Troy. No disrespect to Andy Levine, if that is his name. I think.
I think you're brilliant in Maroon 5.
Yeah, I'm worried that I've said something. Long hair. You know
Lead
what
singer
I mean.
Maroon, that's Adam Levine.
Can you flash a picture up of hopefully Andy Levine? Anyway, yeah.
It was the one that wrestled alligators. Him.
That's the one.
It wasn't him.
Also next week, Evolve Sean Legacy getting an NXT North American Championship match against the winner of WWE's AAA Worlds Collide Fatal 4-Way, which is taking place on Saturday. Ethan Page, Laredo Kid, Javon Evans, and Ray Phoenix going at it in that one. He got on that one.
Well, so they've certainly set up like Ethan Page and Sean Legacy to have a match next week, so I reckon we probably see Ethan Page sneak out with the North American Championship in that one.
I think it makes the most sense, doesn't it? It makes the most sense.
I think it does. Speaking of Worlds Collide, a slight change to one of those matches. One of the talent has been pulled from one of the trios matches that we're going to be seeing.
Yes, this past Monday, we talked about this yesterday. Joaquin Wilde was knocked out cold during his WWE Speed match against Lexus King. We still don't know if that match is going to air at all, so we might not ever properly see that. He shared an update saying that he was doing okay and everything, but as a precaution, he's been pulled from his planned trios match at Worlds Collide. LWO set to face Triple H's Aerostar, Octago, and Mr. Iguana. That match is still taking place, but instead of Joaquin Wilde, you got Jack the Jobber's fave, Lindsay Dorado, making an on-screen NXT return to replace Joaquin.
So he's been around since the start of the year, working as a coach at the Performance Center. He's been doing a few of the NXT shows on the Coconut Loop in the meantime, and he appeared on Evolve recently. This is then a decent replacement to have someone like Lindsay Dorado in there. A decent stand-in.
Cool for Lindsay as well. Like, he's always somebody who I felt like worked really, really hard. He was so he was fun to watch in the ring and everything. And I imagine being on that card, this sort of super card, this promotion versus promotion thing, I think he'll be buzzing about that. Fair play to the bloke.
I would be as well. So the full card, of course, is that trios match there that we talked about there. Aerostar, Octago, and Mr. Iguana were on hand on last night's show as well. Santos Escobar, Angel, and Berto taking on Psycho Clown, El Hijo de Wagner Jr. and Pagano.
Stephanie Vaquer and Lola Vice taking on Chick Tormenta and Delise.
The NXT North American title, as we talked about there, Ethan Page defending against Phoenix, Laredo Kid, and Javon Evans.
And the AAA Mega Championship is on the line as Vikingo takes on one Chad Gable. That is going to be an unreal match, Tom.
That's going to be a fun match. It's going to be a fun show.
Yeah, I think so.
I love the way that they have presented this, and I'm so intrigued to see, because this is really going to be what truly sets up how WWE are going to treat AAA going forward in terms of like who's going to fit where, who gets the shine in these moments. It's an opportunity here to introduce some of these great lucha talent to an American audience properly, and I hope they take full advantage of it. Yes. I really do. I really, really do. That is Saturday ahead of Money in the Bank. Money in the Bank live reactions coming up this weekend, plus predictions with yourself and the smaller version of you in Andrew.
Smaller version.
He's smaller version of you, isn't he?
Don't say that.
It's all right.
It's horrible.
It's all right. Also, it's 9 Pitches Day as well. We're going to talk about what we want to happen at Money in the Bank. I'm on it today. Expect some awful Shaggy Dog stories that you're going to be furious about. And then what happened and the WTF moments coming up next week as well. And for the very latest wrestling news at any time, you can check out Cultaholic.com. Stay safe. Love you. Bye.